Okay, my name is Jake Packer, and I decided to do one of the gas problems. It says if 70.0 milliliters of nitrogen gas reacts with 45.0 milliliters of oxygen gas, what is the volume of N2O3 produced? So the very first thing that we have to understand is that this is an equation. So nitrogen gas is N2, oxygen gas is O2, and so those two reactants are being put together to produce N2O3. But from the get-go, we can see that this equation isn't balanced. So what we do is we start with the most complex equation, and we're going to give it a coefficient of 2, so make it 2N2O3. But that means that we're going to have to put a coefficient of 3 by the O to balance that out. So now there's 6O and there's 6O here, and then we're going to add 2 to be a coefficient of 2N2. So this is our balanced equation, is 2N2 plus 3O2 produces or yields 2N2O3. Everything's balanced now. So the other things that we know is that we started with 70.0 milliliters of N2 and 45.0 milliliters of O2. And so the object is going to be to find out which one of these two reactants is going to yield less N2O3, and that way we'll know which one's the limiting reactant and how much was actually produced. So to go about doing this, you have to multiply by the coefficient of how much N2 was used. So we see that it's 2N2. That was the reactant used right here. And it yielded 2N2O3. And that's going to give us, simply since this is just going to be 1, we're going to cross out the N2s right here. And it's going to be 70.0 milliliters of N2O3. Now on the bottom, it's going to be a little bit different because the coefficient that we used of O2 was 3. 3O2 over 2N2O3. So the product that is going to be given is going to be 45.0, cross out the O2s, multiplied by 2/3, which is going to give us 30.0 milliliters of N2O3. This one right here, being less than this one, is the limiting reagent, or I should say the O2 used in this reaction is the limiting reagent. And so the actual amount, or the actual volume of gas N2O3 produced is limited by that reagent, and therefore it's 30.0 milliliters.